Welcome to this video where I'm going to be talking about 3 universal laws that peak performers use to get powerful results. I'm Kat Millar from Amplify Your Influence. If we haven't met before, hello and welcome. I come here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. unless something's going on, but probably 50 out of 52 weeks a year I will be here and sharing with you business tips to grow your business. So I help service-based entrepreneurs and coaches, passionate entrepreneurs to grow their business and get more clients. And I do this through mindset, marketing, sales, presenting, and strategy predominantly, and content creation. Those are the main things that I cover. So it's a whole heap of topics that I cover underneath the topic of influence. If there's specific topics that you would like covered, please let me know. Just let me know. Send me a message, and if it's a good, if I think that it's going to fit for this group, then I would love to address it for you. So thanks to those of you who show up here regularly. It's always awesome to see those of you who jump on live. So hello, welcome. Love to say hello to you and connect with who I'm watching. So give me a hello in the chat box so I know who is on here and I can welcome you and chat with you, and so that it's a little bit less of a monologue. So why is it so important to understand the universal laws, and what are they? A lot of people struggle to progress in their business, and so I find that using universal laws really helps because you're coming back to the truth, those solid things that are unshakable. There's a lot of shaky things in the world right now, yes? Who agrees with that? So to have some things that are solid, that are timeless, that are unchanging is super powerful when it comes to being more of a peak performer. And by a peak performer, I mean producing at a higher level, getting better results, being more productive in the time that you have available, so you can free up more time to do other things in life than, you know, always being a slave to your business admin. You can actually really progress. And I do see a lot of people who want to get more clients, who want to get events happening, who want to be doing more videos or showing up more consistently and want success. But a lot of people talk about it, and not a lot of people actually do what it takes to consistently keep showing up, to go to the next level, to keep expanding and growing and evolving as a business owner. Business is not just about doing some actions, it's about who you're becoming. It's about you evolving into the person that you need to be in order to have that successful business that you want to have. It's about your identity as a business owner. So it's so important that you're investing in you, in your personal development, in your personal growth continuously, and not just learning business skills. So this is a bit more of a mindset training, because that's really the thing holding you back from your business success. It's not that you don't have, you know, all the resources available to you, because you do. You can learn so much information, it's all there, but what generally holds people back is their mindset. I hear people say things like, you know, another week's gone past and I haven't achieved X, or another week's gone by and I haven't finished Y, and why am I spending all this time on this stuff that doesn't really matter, and not spending time on the things that are going to give me a tangible result, right? Do you ever feel like that the weeks are just passing by and you think, what have I actually done? I've been busy, but have I really performed at my peak? Have I produced at the highest level that I really could? And when we don't line up what we're doing on a day-to-day basis with our big picture vision, with our bigger goals and the vision that we're moving towards, our dream business. I mean, I talk to people that don't even have a dream business. They don't have a vision. So that's where you've got to start, is make sure you've got the vision. But once you've got the vision, you've got to make sure you attach it to the goals. So universal laws can really help you to see where you are in your business, like a compass to see where you are, and also a roadmap. Because otherwise, if you're not getting that progress, it's incredibly frustrating, right? So if you've noticed in yourself a pattern of procrastination, of putting things off, not following through, and you've told yourself you'd do things and maybe you haven't, it's usually a mindset thing. So this will help you. I love helping people in business, not just with what to do, but why they're not doing it, why they're not taking action. It's so easy to get stuck in our head and in our laptop and get stuck into actions and not really pull ourselves out of it and think, what are the best actions for me to follow? Who do I need to be in my business? Like whenever I'm feeling that head down, just doing, but feeling like you're not doing anything meaningful or not really progressing, I revisit these universal laws because they're solid truth. So if you want to perform at your highest level, if you want to go to the next level, this will help you. This will give you some good clues. If you Google universal laws, you'll get a whole lot of different things come up. And if you study, there's a lot of information out there on universal laws. There's 12. A lot of people talk about the 12 universal laws. Some people talk about 7 universal laws. There's lots of information on Google, but what I really like to do is simplify it and take the ones that make the biggest difference to me as an entrepreneur. And there are 3 that I want to share with you tonight. These are the 3 that I think have, like, understanding these 3 have helped me the most in growing my business. So the first law is the law of vibration. The law of vibration. You've probably all heard about the law of attraction, and this is similar. So it's kind of like the underlying kind of it's like the component of the law of attraction. Basically, the law states that everything in the universe has a frequency and a vibration, right? So nothing ever stands still. So everything is always either being pushed towards you or pushed away from you, depending on the vibration. So items of a similar vibration are attracted to each other, right? So like a magnet, items of a similar vibration are attracted to each other. So if you want to use this law to manifest what you want in your business, you need to match your vibration to attract what you want. It's got to be, the vibration's got to be aligned to get what you want. So whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't is right. You know, that saying that Henry Ford talks about. This is about the law of vibration. Like if you believe, I'm not going to make it, it's too hard, business is not for me, I don't think I'll ever be able to overcome my fear of getting on video, I don't think I'll ever be able to be consistent, I'm not sure if I've got cut out to be a business owner, then that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So whatever you believe with feeling becomes your reality, right? So you feel positive about yourself to the degree of how high your vibration is. And you feel negative about yourself if you've got a low vibration. So if you're low and you're flat and you're feeling a bit crap, you know, you're feeling overwhelmed or frustrated or disappointed or resentful or irritable, you'll attract more of those feelings. Our thoughts attract similar thoughts and our feelings attract similar feelings. And this is the law of vibration. But if you're feeling inspired and determined and motivated and at a peak state and confident and you're feeling amazing, you attract more and more of not only those feelings, but people who have those feelings. Have you noticed this in action? Give me a yes in the comments box if you've noticed this in action, where when you're in a bad mood, that's the day that you kick your toe and you smash a plate on the ground and you run into all sorts of trouble. Like it's almost like it's failure breeds more failure. But when you're peaking and you're high vibe and you're feeling great, you attract more of that energy. It's like when you are in a hurry, that's when all the cars seem to be going so slow. Has anyone found this in their own life? Just give me a yes in the comments or share an experience. I would love to hear an experience from you. Hey, Matt, good to see you on here. Hey, Sally. Hey, Josh. Hey, Diego. So good to have you here. And thanks for tagging in Romy. I appreciate that, Diego. So vibration is all about attracting in our thinking. A client of mine recently said that she never had a flat tire in her life, and then she had 4 separate flat tire incidences in 1 month. And that's that whole thing of like you get on that vibe, that low vibration and of that frequency. And I've had that in my own life. I remember when I was going through this really stressed period in my life and I locked my keys out of my apartment. The first time I put them down my garbage chute with the rubbish, that was not a fun experience. But 3 times in 1 week, and I called the same locksmith guy out. And the 3rd time, he was like, what's wrong with you? But it's like you get on a roll. So you want to get on that success vibe so you can attract more success and things flow around you. For a lot of people, they trigger the law when like they're grumpy, and you go into Coles and you get the grumpiest clerk. What do you call them? Checkout person. Or you go into the post office and that person's grumpy, or you know, you're in a great mood, and then you go to the coffee shop and they're in a great mood. So your vibe attracts your tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe. So the energy that you put out, you get back. So I want to explain, like I want you to think about it like this. What are you expecting to happen in your business? Like, what are you actually expecting? Are you expecting that it's going to be hard? Are you expecting that there's going to be problems? Are you expecting that next month you're not going to make that much money? Or are you expecting that you're going to have great success, that you'll press through to your goals, that nothing will stop you? Because if you believe that you're going to be successful, you'll just keep going. You won't give up. You'll just keep pushing forward, right? And a person with an abundance mindset attracts the resources of abundance and attracts more people with more abundant mindsets, and they build and build and build. So everything that you do and have in your life is because of that vibration. And you can do more and you can have more because you can keep changing your vibration. You can keep your thoughts on what you want and refuse to think about what you don't want. Most people are walking around thinking about what they don't want, thinking about their problems. But the more you think about your business and your life as meaningful and important, the more you'll attract the resources that you need, the money you need, the opportunities you need, the ideas you need, the creative problem solving methods that you need, the people you need. If you need them, you need to start focusing on them and not on the problem. You are right now surrounded by the outcome of the decisions you've made in the past because of that law of attraction. You've attracted them in, and you're fully capable of making new decisions and attracting a new set of circumstances. So if you're in the vibration of consistency, you'll keep showing up and being consistent and creating content and doing what you need to do in business, which is often the hard things, right? The Facebook Lives and running events and running webinars and creating consistent content and working on your sales pitch and all those things that are going to lead you to success. The more you believe it, the more it's going to happen. If you believe that webinars don't work, then they won't work for you. If you believe that Facebook ads don't work, then they won't work for you. It's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So whatever you're expecting becomes your self-fulfilling prophecy. What you get is not necessarily what you want, but what you expect. So you apply this law in your business by confidently expecting great things to happen, things to work, things to flow, answers to come. And you just expect that things are going to work out for you. Imagine if you lived your life absolutely convinced that everything was conspiring to make you successful. Like imagine living like that every single day. And I know that seems a little bit out of reach, but maybe you could do it just a little bit more than you are right now. So I have an action prompt for this one. What is a question you could ask yourself every day? What is a question you could ask yourself every day to raise your vibration, to actually raise it? The questions that we ask ourselves before we get up in the morning and before we go to sleep at night are the most important questions that we can ask ourselves. We need to wrap our day in really good questions. And the reason being, if you want to produce at a higher level, if you want to be a peak performer and achieve more and be more productive, you want to raise your vibration with these questions. So your unconscious mind goes to work with questions. So if you asked a great question in the morning, your unconscious mind will go to work throughout the day to pull that towards you. So I'm going to give you some examples of some questions that I've asked myself in the morning. How can I be of service today? How can I be of service today? Who needs me to be at my A game today? You know, if you think about it, you have a community of people who are watching your life. You do. If you're on Facebook, you have people watching your life. And so you have a community. And you're probably in Facebook groups. If you're in Facebook groups, you've got a community of people watching your life. And so you have influence over them right now. And whether that's influence for bad or influence for good depends on your vibration, what you're putting out there. And I don't take that responsibility lightly. You know, you can change someone's life with your vibration. You can change their mood. You can change their results, their feelings, their behaviors with your vibration. Like, that's pretty powerful, right? Who's noticed that? Who's noticed that if someone's in a really bad mood, it's hard for you to stay in a good mood? Or if they're in this amazing vibing place, it's contagious. Humans, we are contagious. We rub off on each other. Sally says, what things do I need to let go of to raise my vibration? I love that question. That's so cool. What a great question to ask yourself in the morning. Your unconscious mind will go to work at it. So those of you who are on here live, I'd love to know, what questions do you ask yourself? Because peak performers, high performers, they ask themselves powerful questions. I've got some other examples here. How can I be my most powerful and confident self today? And then it's a question, and your mind has to answer it. Can you imagine the difference of asking that compared to asking, what's wrong with me? Why do I always sleep in? How am I going to get that done today? Oh, I'm so busy. I don't know how to do it. Those questions are not powerful questions. They're not the questions that peak performers ask themselves. They ask themselves things like, how can I use my time most effectively today? How can I make sure I'm using the best use of my time? How can I show kindness today? Who needs me to show kindness today? So I'd love to know, do you ask yourself questions? Hey, Lisa, what do I absolutely need to get done today to stay in flow? What a good question. I love that. What do I absolutely, I love that word, need to get in flow. I love that. And in the evening, I write, every night before I go to bed, I write, how many ways can I continue to become an even more successful business owner? I write that question, and I've written it every single night for over 6 months. And I actually take a photo of it and I send it to an accountability group. We do it, we also say, I'm so grateful and happy now that I am. So you say it in the present tense. It's a great way to raise your vibration, because your unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between truth and something you just make up. So you've got to actually train your mind. You've got to program your mind to have that high vibration. So I write it down, and then the unconscious mind goes to work through your dreams to answer that question. And you can say things like, how many ways can I continue to build more wealth? How many ways can I continue to be a more wealthy business owner? How many ways can I continue to serve at the highest level? How many ways can I show up for my people tomorrow? And you go to sleep and your unconscious mind finds ways. It's super cool. You're commanding it. And all the greats talk about this, you know, Napoleon Hill and Bob Proctor and all of the granddaddies of the law of attraction, and you know, even way back, they talk about this. They talk about asking yourself the powerful questions. So using that law of vibration to our advantage is so motivating for our future self. So I've spent the most time on that one. The other two not as meaty. That if you can nail that law of attraction, law of vibration, oh my goodness, that is a game changer. I'd love to hear if you're using it at the moment, because it's just a life changer. It's like when you start to see numbers everywhere, like Lisa and I have talked about this, and Josh, like the 1111, and you start to see Mercedes Benz everywhere. If you've got that car in your mind, all of a sudden they're everywhere. So it's this reticular activating system in our brain that filters in and out information. And my question to you is, how many opportunities and resources are you actually filtering out because you're not intentionally programming your unconscious mind? Okay, number 2 is the law of correspondence. The law of correspondence. This law says that your outer world corresponds to your inner world. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, your true self. So your outer world of health corresponds to your inner world about your beliefs about health. Your outer world of your finances, how much money is coming into your bank account, corresponds to your inner world of your beliefs about money. If you want to know what your beliefs are, look at your outer world, because it reveals your inner world. Your beliefs about your outer world of relationships, if you're always attracting drama, or you're always attracting people who treat you badly, that's a reflection of the beliefs you have in your inner world. And I know it sounds quite obvious, but we just forget this sometimes, that when you work on your inner world, you start to reflect, and that corresponds to your outer world. It's always an inside-out job. When you work on your inner world consistently, I'm not talking about going to a Tony Robbins event once a year, which I'm going to tomorrow, by the way. I'm so excited. Like, I'll go to those events, I'll get hyped up, I love it, but it's more about what you do consistently, what you do daily. So our lives are created by the unconscious patterns that we're living out every single day, and these patterns either serve us or they hold us back. And most of them are unconscious, right? They say about 90% we're not even aware of. Like, they're not even in our conscious mind. They're not even on our radar. So we've got to bring them to the conscious mind through training, through being intentional. So any thought or idea that you accept as true in your conscious mind, your unconscious is just going to automatically accept it. So if you believe that you can be a successful business owner, and you really feel it, you've got to feel it and believe it, your unconscious mind will take that as truth and just find ways of making it happen for you. So exciting. It's really important that we put into our conscious mind what we want, because your unconscious mind will immediately go to work on it. And that's why you've got to program your mind daily. So I write my vision morning and night, because it's programming, it's retraining those pathways. Because society is always telling us that we're not good enough, so that they can sell things, right? Like, if we didn't have those marketing messages of telling us that we're not good enough, then we'd probably all have a lot more self-love, right? But we've got to fight those messages. That's what's coming in our phones and our laptops all the time, that we're not enough. So we've really got to be consistent with working on our inner world. If you look at someone who's not succeeding in business, you'll see that reflected in their appearance. They're probably a bit hunched over, their shoulders are probably drooped down, they're probably not looking very happy. But someone who's really successful, you see it on the outside, you see it. And it's not about what you wear or anything like that, it's more about your energy that you're giving off. So we activate this law of correspondence by being aware of our patterns, by taking consistent action to reprogram our mind, and being intentional, soaking our mind. How often do you soak your mind in positive, uplifting thoughts? What percentage of your day do you do that, where you actually purposely put really uplifting, empowering things into your mind? Because whatever you dwell on long enough will eventually materialize in the world around you. The more you think about something, the more it comes towards you. And this is where coaching is so powerful, because coaches can reflect back what's happening in our inner world. We don't often know what's happening on our inner world and our unconscious mind, because 90% of it's not even in our awareness. So we can't see our blind spots. We can't see ourselves as other people see us. And that's why having that external person to reflect it back like a mirror, to, like coaches reflect our unconscious mind back to us like a mirror. They reflect back what's really going on in our inner world. Who's found that when you get on a coaching call and suddenly you're like, oh, is that what I'm thinking? Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that I really thought that until I said it out loud, because coaches are trained to ask really good questions. So if your business or your health or your relationship or your finances is not where you want it to be, you need to start with cleaning up your thinking. So I have a question for you for this one. Imagine if you had one focus, just one word to focus on for the week that might help you start to transform your inner world. What would that word be? So just to make it really like practical and actionable for you, what's a word that you think that you could really focus on this week? Maybe it's brave, joyful, inspiring, grateful, powerful. Maybe it's flow or consistency or abundance or resilience. What's a word? Maybe you could write it down and you could put it up on your bathroom mirror or put it up on your wall or put it up on your laptop. What is a word? Because that kind of sets your sail, because words change how we feel, right? So what's a word? I would love it if you pop it into the chat box. And Jen says, influence. Great word. I love that. People are watching your life, my friend, and you are influencing them. So pop in the chat box, what is a word that you want to focus on for the coming week? Just one word, because you're going to bring it in. If you just keep focusing on that word and feeling it and living it and vibing it at that frequency of it, and just watch and see what happens. Josh says abundance. I love that word. So good. All right, number 3, the law of cause and effect. Now, you've all heard of cause and effect, no doubt. The law of cause and effect states that any action causes a reaction. So whatever you put out, good or bad, you get back. Some people call this karma. Some people call it sowing and reaping. But basically, there's specific causes for being successful and specific causes for being unsuccessful, right? Many people think, in fact, most people think that life is just happening to them. And they're just at the effect of what's happening. And you meet people that are on that, if you think of like the cause side of the equation and the effect side of the equation, when you meet people on the effect side of the equation, they are filtering out so many opportunities. They're rejecting opportunities. They're not seeing them because they just think they are not in control. They don't realize they are in control of their lives. And they don't realize that they have the choice to be at cause. When you're at cause, you take full responsibility for your results. You don't blame anything or anyone. And it's not always easy to admit this. It's a bit of a wake-up call to go from living at effect to living at cause. And when I went to an event, when I got to Sydney, I went to an event called Live It Now. And this event really changed me because they talked a lot about cause and effect. And I realized how many times I'd made excuses, I'd blamed other things, it was just a bit of a rude awakening. Has anyone had one of those rude awakenings when you realize that everything you have or don't have is because of you? And a lot of people are looking externally at other things instead of being present to themselves and the opportunities that they can actually create. And when we're on the effect side of the equation, we're usually thinking about what's happening to us rather than what we're creating. But when we live at cause, not effect, we realize if we want to attract something into our business, we have to take ownership. We need to realize, like, I'm the cause of what's happening. If you want incredible clients, you need to be an incredible client. If you want incredible wealth, you need to invest incredible amounts of time and energy and potentially money into understanding wealth. If you want a great relationship, you've got to invest in being a great person. So when you realize that everything is happening because of you and you're present to that, and you realize, oh, I want to be a great coach, so I've got to work on myself and not just work on business skills. I need to realize that what I'm reaping, I'm sowing. And what you are reaping today is a result of what you've sowed in the past, right? So if you want to reap a different result, you've got to reap a different action. You've got to plant different seeds. Sometimes it's about patience because you have seeds in the ground. A lot of you on here, you've got seeds in the ground. You've planted them, you're watering them. You haven't quite seen the tree come up yet, but it's going to be like bamboo. It's going to go boom, and it's going to come up really fast. So sometimes there's that lag time between investing all this money and getting clients, or doing all this work, not yet seeing the result. There's that waiting room, right? Where you've got to have a lot of patience. But you've got to remember, life's not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's like an ultra, ultra long marathon. And the law of cause and effect, it just shows that if you do this, then you'll get that. And you will be compensated for the work as long as you're open to receiving it in all different ways that it can be delivered to you. So I hope that helped you. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you looked at these laws on how you can actually apply it to your business. So just to recap, the first law is the law of vibration. The second law is the law of correspondence. And the third law is the law of cause and effect. If you would like a coaching session where I can help you unpack some of these things, anything that's come up from what I've talked about, or anything I can help you in business, if you haven't yet had a free strategy session with me, I offer a 45-minute strategy session where you can talk about whatever you want in business, but ultimately I work out what are your blocks, we clear them, what's holding you back, give you a nice clear action plan for your business so you can get unstuck, unblock, keep moving forward. So if you haven't had one of those already, I'll just pop the link in the chat box, the comments box, and you can fill that in and apply for that call. So Matt says presence. Beautiful word, Matt. I love that. Lisa says completion. What a good word. Super good. Thank you, my friends, for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again next Wednesday at 8 p.m. and have a beautiful rest of your week. I think I'll be buzzing next week because I would have just done Tony Robbins. Actually, I'll be on holiday. So I look forward to seeing you on there and seeing what comes out. Take care. Bye for now.